Hey everybody, Karen here. Welcome back to Unpinned Creative and the next episode in the Defemerember journal. We are so nearly finished with all of these pages and I'm really excited to get it completed. So if you haven't been following along, I'll link the playlist in the description box for the Defemerember. It was a challenge I did in December that Barbara from 49 Dragonflies and Louisa Heinzel from Louisa Heinzel Junk Journal Art created, where we did a piece of ephemera every day, or for 27 days of, or 26 days of December. I can't remember how many days. Anyway, I did it during that month, and then have been coming back and completing the backgrounds of the pages. Some of them I completed on camera at the time, and a lot of them, particularly at the beginning of the journal, I didn't. So that is what we are doing today, and I believe we are up to day 8, which is this beautiful butterfly page. Okay, so I'm glad we're up to this page because I need to do something with the dangle. So the prompts were beads and a postage stamp dangle, and I made this little butterfly angel dangle thingy and a little miniature book out of postage stamps. But for this journal, it was good size for the journal that I had it in at the time, but because I've popped it in this bigger journal, this is not working. I need it to be a bit longer so it sits over the spine. So we're going to do that today, and also I did nothing with the background, so we're also going to do that today. So I will grab that out and we will get started. I will pop the dangle aside for now and we'll work on that later. That's going to be a quick easy fix. And let's think about what to do with this. So at the moment it is a flip from a book page, and I have slit the fabric down here but not up here, so I think that's the first thing I'll fix. So this is just a strip of fabric I put on to attach this page to the background page. Easy fix, that one. Looking around my desk, I have a piece of paint paper, which I think the shape of it is about exactly perfect for this page. So I'm going to start with that. And see where that takes us. So this is just baking paper that I put down underneath when I'm working, which I need to do now. Which I need to do before I start, so that my lovely white background, which is slowly becoming not so white, stays clean. And the reason it's slowly becoming not so white is because I keep forgetting to put paint paper down. Anyway, so yeah, this is just a piece of baking paper that I used as paper for painting on, or as a background paper when I'm doing projects, and it slowly gets covered in ink and paint and whatever else I'm using, and then I keep those pieces and use them for collage and in backgrounds of pages and things like that, just like I'm going to do with it now. So I'm not going to worry about covering the whole thing with glue, because I like the sound that it makes, and I like a tactile journal that you can rub your hands over and it creates sound and all of that. So I am totally okay with background pieces not being completely glued down. So where this fold is, this crease where this page folds over, I'm just making sure I'm pushing my nail right into that so that that paper goes right in there. Alrighty, that is the start. Let's tear off the bottom. And I might just pop a wee bit more glue in this corner. Okay, so now what to do with the space up here. I have this stencil which I picked up at the thrift shop, and I believe, I've seen quite a few of these around, that it was a freebie with the magazine. Oh yes, the food magazine. And I like these little hearts. So they kind of remind me of butterflies flying. So because this is the butterfly page, I think I will use some of those. And I'm going to use blue ink and my blending brush. And let's see where this goes. Actually, the last colour I was using with this brush was green, so this might come out more green than blue. We'll see. I'm just avoiding the word in the middle and just getting the hearts at this stage. Okay, that's good. And I think I'll do some on the front as well. Wearing a white top again. I never wear white, especially when I'm crafting, but for some reason lately I have. And the reason I don't wear white is because my clothes never stay white for long. They end up with paint and goodness knows what on them. Alrighty, what else shall we do here? Well, we need journaling space. So I am going to grab some gesso and just lightly go over this so it's more obviously able to be used as journaling space. What do I want to do with this flappy bit? I think I'll just leave it as a flap. So it could be journaled on. It's coming apart, so I'm going to have to pop some washi down there, I think, once that gesso's dry. And we need a focal point. So, bringing back in my dangle angel butterfly thingy, postage stamps, butterfly wings and beads. Maybe we just need another big butterfly on this page, so let me go and find one of those and I'll be back. Alrighty, before I'd even stepped away from my desk, I just had a quick look in my fabric scrap box, and I have some these are recycled coffee bags or coffee bean bags that and these are just some offcuts because I make peg bags out of those for the Eco Warehouse as part of my other job, and so these are some scraps from that, and they kind of look like butterfly wings to me, so I'm going to make a butterfly out of these and have that on the page. And then I have some gorgeous cream coloured vintage lace, and I'll use that as well. So for the moment, let's pop this out of the way. We'll let that dry, and let's turn this into a butterfly. So I think I will grab a pin just while I get the shape sorted. I think it'll go like that. Right, and I'll just fold it over and cut the same shape on the other side. Or similar. This has to be similar, it doesn't have to be exactly the same. Okay, that's looking quite butterfly-like to me. I'm just wondering, it might be a wee bit big for the page. Oh. It's quite big. It's quite big. And I need this to still close. Right, let's make it a wee bit smaller. I don't want to lose too much of this though, because it's really cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to do it like that. It'll be fine. I'll make it work. Okay, so then I want some, I'm going to pin that back together. Then I want some of this lace on there. Like so. Yep. Okay, so I'm just taking the where the scallop is and cutting up the center of that. and then just shaping the lace from there by cutting it on a diagonal to approximately the center point of the top. But it won't be exactly the center point because nothing that I do is exact. Alright, let's take it off the page now. Right, hold that in place like that. What else? We need, whoops, I just made a mess with my scraps. I have some of this that I've been using, that I sprayed for another project, the Elf Christmas journal, if you've seen that. Should I use that? I might use that as, because it's quite strong, it will give me a strong a strong base to stitch all of this to in the center there, because we want it to stay together. So I'm going to use that as the base, and then I've got some fibers as well just sitting here on my desk. I'm just looking at what's on my desk. And what I might do, yeah, we'll stitch that on there as well, just like that. And that's basically our butterfly. Done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Right, I'm going to take that to the sewing machine and stitch it all together, and I'll be back and show you the results. Okay, so this is what we have now. So I've stitched down the center just with a zigzag stitch. I stitched the backing piece on first, and I also stitched just a loop to secure that lace onto the wings. Okay, all right, let's bring our page back in. I need to repunch the holes so I can see where they are first. So with this journal, so yes, this is a very bulky embellishment to have on a page, but when I was making the cover for this journal, I knew that I was going to be wanting to add lots of bulk to it. So I used extra large book rings and gave it some space to grow a bit. So that's why I can, I'm happy to do stuff like this, and also that's why I love using brown paper bags as the base for pages, because they give a really nice strong base to do stuff like this too. Okay, I am going to, I think I'm going to stitch this onto the page as well, but first I want to add a wee bit more to the background, and I think I'm going to do some stamping for that. So let me grab a stamp. Okay, this is one of my favourite stamps. It's just a foam stamp I picked up secondhand. I don't know anything about it, I'm afraid, but I love it. So it's just some script with a violin. and I'm just going to, I'm not covering it completely, just randomly putting ink on it and then popping that down on the page. In a few places. I'm not even sure if you'll be able to see that. A little bit, you can see it. Okay, that's cool. I like that. Okay, I've moved this down a bit because it was too much all at the top of the page. But this needs something else, so I just have a scrap of fabric, and I'm just going to pop that on top of that as well, which makes me feel better about that. And I feel like I need something in this corner. Do I? Okay, I feel like it needs something up here, so I have this piece, which is a piece of aluminium from a can that I have corrugated, and I think I'm going to stick that up there, because why not add some more bulk to the page? And I feel like it needed that pop of colour. And I'm going to try something I've never done before, which is I'm going to try stitching that. I don't know if it'll work, and if it doesn't, that's fine, I'll just glue it, but I'm going to try and see what happens. And I'm going to stitch the butterfly on to the page. Yep, I'm going to stitch the butterfly onto the page, and I might use black thread to give a bit of a contrast. And this one, I'm just going to glue that bit on at the top there. And I didn't stick my pin back in my glue because I'm a wally. That will be enough to hold that on. Okay, I'm going to go do some stitching and I'll let you know how I get on. Righty, we have success. So, something I've never tried before and will definitely try again. I have stitched that piece of aluminium onto the page. Now, some tips for if you're wanting to do this yourself and you're not a experienced sewer. Before you use your sewing machine and ruin it, please change to a heavy duty denim or leather needle in your machine, and also use the hand wheel or the balance wheel, which is the wheel on the end of your machine up the top that you turn towards you, and it makes the needle go up and down. So use that first to make sure that your machine can go through the aluminium. I don't want to ruin anyone's sewing machines by telling you that this works and yay, go and do it. I have quite a heavy duty sewing machine. I am a sewer, and you know, so yeah, let's just be clear here before anyone ruins their machine. Tread carefully, and if you want any tips or anything like that about sewing and stuff like that, just ask in the comments. Alrighty, but I am excited because that worked. It did skip a stitch, and it's not my tidiest sewing by a long shot, but I am happy that it turned out. And then I just added a little bit of zigzag stitching at the top of this piece, and have done some stitching around the butterfly wings and down the center there, so that is now secured to the page. And you can see on the back how I did it. I did not change the bobbin thread to black because 1, I'm lazy, and 2, I'm okay with some of that cream thread popping through if it did. Now the reason that that would happen, just if you want a sewing tip, is if you can see your bobbin thread on top of your page, then your tension is out a little bit on your machine. Yep. And your manual, if you got a manual with it, should tell you how to adjust your tension. Alrighty, so for this page, I think I am pretty happy with that. It's not particularly colourful, but it's definitely more colourful than it was just before. And all I want to do now is pop a piece of washi down here to secure that edge, which I might do on both sides. And I think I'll use this one. Yep, where's my glue stick? And I'll pop a bit on the other side as well. Okay, now with the pressure from the rest of the pages in the book, it will flatten this page out and hold it down. And yeah, that's pretty cool, I think. I am pretty happy with that. Okay, next bit is the dangle. So I had it attached with a safety pin, which was fine on the other journal, but for this one I need it to be a bit longer. So I think all I'm going to do is grab a split ring, and I probably want, I don't know, about this much. Attach one end of that chain to a split ring and attach that to this eyelet. Hopefully the split ring is big enough. Yes. And then I'm going to attach the other end to another split ring. And I'm going to keep the safety pin on there because I actually, I love safety pins. I actually often have them attached to my clothing. So I'm happy to keep that on there. Okay. I think that was the page done. What I could have done is added a stamp, a couple of stamps. I think I'll do that. I'll grab a couple of stamps and put those on there too. Seeing as stamps were part of the original prompt list, I have this lovely piece of yellow envelope. Maybe that's too much yellow. Oh, I have this lovely piece of envelope. Let me take a piece of that. Maybe not that much. Let me ink that up. Ink that up a wee bit more, put my stamps up the right way. Do I need this one as well? What do we reckon? Yep, I'm doing it. I forgot to put my pin back in my glue again. Okay, we're done. We are done. Let me put the pin back in my glue. Yes, Karen, good job. Let me move the paper so you can see better. Okay, I love it. I think that's turned out pretty cool. It's getting very dark here and rainy again, but hopefully you can still see. All right, let's put it in the journal and see how it fits. Yeah. Yep. It's very cool. Journaling space here. The awesome thing about this type of spine and binding is that you can take your pages out and work on them and still have really cool, bulky, grungy pages and not have to worry about whether or not you can write on a flat surface. Anyway, I am very happy with that. I think it fits the journal nicely. Alright, that is day 8 completed properly. Let's close the journal and see if the dangle fits better now. And yes, it does. Cool, 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 cool. How cool is that? I love it. I love it. I love it. And of course you can remove this if you want to, if it's annoying, but I love it. Or she can sit over the front like this on the cover. Ah, so cool. I probably could have made this chain a wee bit shorter, but I'm not fussed. I'm quite happy with it. Yay, that is it. Thank you so much for joining me again today, and I will see you in the next one.